these are 10 Marvel Rivals tips I wish I knew sooner. Starting with number 1, there's a way to tell when a hero can't be stunned, and it's actually pretty simple. Whenever a hero uses an ability that would make them immune to CC, a yellow outline shows up around their character's health bar, making it easy to tell at a glance when you should or should not use your CC abilities. Now for number 2, I wish I knew earlier that you should never leave or surrender a competitive game if one of your teammates is left. Because back in Season 3, Marvel Rivals added a feature that gives back some of your lost rank points if you play out a game where a teammate left. They even put out this detailed chart showing the different scenarios where you can get some of your rank points back. So it's always better to play out a game where a teammate left, even when you know you're gonna lose. Now something else I wish I knew sooner is number 3. The card objective has some unique stuff about it. First off, the card itself will actually heal you if you're standing near it while on the attacking side. There's not a ton of health at 10 HP a second, but it can come in clutch. The second off, if you've ever played Overwatch, you'll know that you have to stand on the cart in order for it to move as an attacker. But in Marvel Rivals, all you gotta do as an attacker is capture the cart and it'll move on its own. The cart does move significantly faster with heroes on it, but I've seen a point get capped before because defenders didn't realize the cart was moving on its own. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out for. But it's not just the cart, because for number 4, we gotta talk about the spawn room. On any of the maps where the cart is being pushed, the spawn room changes as you get the cart to the checkpoint. And when this happens, you actually have a few seconds where you can go back into the old spawn room and TP to the new spawn room. This could be important for both attackers and defenders. As an attacker, I've used this to quickly catch up with my team after dying. And as a defender, I've used this to get away and regroup with my team. So it's just something to keep in the back of your mind and use it if you need to. Something else you should keep in the back of your mind is number 5. There are a ton of hiding spots in this game. I'm talking bushes above the enemy team, waterfalls with hidden ledges, giant piles of goo you can slide into, and even some thick, meaty trees. Whether you're just trying to post up and heal, find a sneaky place to set up an attack, or get away to recover real quick, there are so many types of hiding spots in this game. So just keep your eyes peeled at all times. And keep your eyes peeled for number 6 too, because there's a couple of heroes who have abilities that can be used pre-game. First up we got Rocket, who can throw down his Revive Beacon, which drops armor packs and jump boots. Then we have Penny, who can launch her mines out of the spawn room and literally kill heroes before the game even starts. So keep an eye out for that. Now for number 7, we'll need to keep an eye and an ear out, because there's a ton of visual and audio cues in this game that I wish I knew early. For example, whenever Moon Knight's about to ult, you can visually see him pull out his ult in his hand and hold it. So if you see that, you can give your team a heads up and be prepared to get out of the way. Every hero also has their own unique voice line for when they're ulting, and the more you play, the more you'll start to recognize those lines and be able to prepare yourself for incoming ults. All the heroes have unique footsteps as well. You can tell the difference between a Hela, a Phoenix, or a Venom. And make callouts to your team if you hear one flanking. Then you have different sound effects for flying heroes like Iron Man and Angela. You can hear when someone uses a teleporter. There's so many, I could probably make an entire video on this. But for now, we gotta move on to number 8. Because I wish I knew earlier just how many settings I should be adjusting in this game. And let's start with the audio settings. In Combat Mix, where you can turn on a sound cue for when one of your teammates dies. Something that should probably be on by default, but isn't. You can also fine tune the sound effects and get the perfect settings for your ears. For example, I like to have the healing others sound turned all the way up. Since I main Rocket, it helps me know whenever my heals are actually hitting my teammates. I also like to have my critical health volume maxed out so that it really stands out when I get to low health. Then we have communication settings, where you can customize the different in-game ping options. One that I recommend swapping out is the need healing button. You want to change this to status. That way when you ping, it'll show how much health you currently have instead of just saying that you need healing, which I found actually encourages people a lot more to look at you and heal you when they see you got 12% health. You can also customize your emotes, sprays, emojis, even binding them to specific keys so you can just press a key and hit an emote whenever you want. And don't worry, all these same settings can be done on console with your controller as well. Now, if all those settings weren't enough, let me hit you with the DJ Khaled another one. Because for number 9, there's a ton of hero-specific settings that I wish I knew early. Things like Simple Swing for Spider-Man, an option that you can enable or disable that will make his swing either attached to the nearest place it can, or attached to where you're aiming. Now, I know having specific controls for each hero can sound overwhelming, so I recommend just checking out your main hero's control settings, see if there's anything you can enable or disable to make your life easier. And if you're ever confused about how a hero works, how much damage or healing they do, or really any question you could ever think of, I got you with this final thing I wish I knew early. Number 10. The Marvel Rivals website has a hero section with everything you could ever want to know. In the game, there are these info cards that give you this detailed breakdown of how a hero's abilities work. But on the website, it goes even deeper. You can click on an ability and see exactly how much damage it does, how much energy an ult costs, how fast an ability makes you move. And sometimes you'll even find little details that you didn't realize an ability did. This is something I would definitely check out for your main heroes and maybe even the ones that give you some problems. And something else you should check out is this video right here. This is a game where I I had a teammate jump off the map, waste his ult in the spot, crash out in the chat, and we still managed to come back and win. It is truly an inspirational story.